Well, dear viewers, good morning. It's yet another beautiful day that God has given to us. I want to welcome you to this program, The Money Closet, on YouTube, where we keep on learning fundamentals that help us to be successful in our pursuit of, happiness. And as we do our day-to-day chores, we need to understand that, there are certain keys that unlock the success that we keep on looking for. And this morning, we are going to be discussing about, a business plan. And I don't know whether you have ever come to ask yourself, why is it that in Kenya, particularly, small businesses, the ones we refer to as MSMEs, and even SMEs, do not get to celebrate even their first birthday since inception. And you realize that one of the biggest challenges is when people, get to do businesses, get to do investments that they do not, have knowledge about or they do not understand. And therefore, this morning, I want to give you some, tips on how to be able to do a business that not only, makes you to succeed, but something that you enjoy. And I want to just help us to understand that most of the time when we have to start up a business, however small it is, however big it is, sometimes you find yourself, starting up a business simply because somebody has given you an idea, on the desk, they have told you how much money they are making, or rather how much money there is that you could make when you start this kind of a business. But when you get to start yourself and get to the ground, you realize that things are totally different from what you have been told. And so what is it that you need to have, before you start any kind of business? Number one, you need to understand, what is the need in the marketplace? What is it that is, the gap, the market gap? What problem are you trying to solve when you are starting that business? If you want to start, for instance, selling water, is it clear that there is a gap or there is a need, there is a problem around that particular business line? Or you just want to start selling it because your friend has told you about it, or you would want to, just compare yourself with your peer? It is important to realize that every single business that is started must appear to solve a particular problem. And therefore, I'm urging us that as you start your business, you must be able to sit down and say, this is the need, because as long as you start a business for the sake of it, then there will always be a problem. There will be a struggle. There will be times when you start regretting and say, why did I have to start this business altogether? But as long as you're solving a particular problem, you will realize that the market or the customers are after your product. They are after your service because you're simply satisfying their need. You're simply sorting out a particular problem. And therefore, that is the first thing. Number two, you are to understand yourself, ask yourself, what is the skill level or what is the expertise that is needed to run the business, to do this business? What is the day-to-day activities that will be required, in that business? And do I have that skill knowledge? Do I have the know-how? Can I be able to understand the end-to-end value chain of this business? Sometimes you realize that people get into business, and when it comes to, obtaining or rather getting the products or the raw materials, they do not actually know where to source these raw materials. And then you find yourself in a mix, because those people who helped you to start the business, or people who inspired you by way of giving you a very good story about it, are not there at that moment in time. And because you do not understand, where do I get this material? Where is it that I can get it at the best price, for me to be able to make a considerable margin? You realize that you hit a snag. And at that moment in time, your market, the people that you're targeting, start to doubt your product. And that is the genesis of business failure. So you also have to understand, when you start this business, if you're not the one who is going to be conducting that business, and probably you're going to rely on, a different personnel, do they have that expertise? Or there are people who are going to be trying out their skill with your investment. You have to put this into practice, and you have to ensure that those people who run your business, and if it's yourself running the business, you have the know-how, you have the skill to manage that business. The other point that I would want to share with you is a point of capital and issues to do with the structure of your business. When you start a business, the lifeline of any business is something we call capital, the working capital, just like your body. If your body falls short of your blood, then you realize you start struggling, and your body develops challenges that, could even cost your life. And that is the same case with a business. You have to ask yourself, how is my capital structure? How am I going to finance my business? We understand that when you start up a business, you ought not to think about making any drawings up until when the business is, say, about 24 months or about 2 years old. And we expect that if the business is strategically started and situated and trying to, solve a particular need in the market, most of the time by the 6th month or so, your business should have started making signs of break-evening, a point where the business can be able to pay its expenditure and then get to stabilize as you get along. And therefore, most people don't understand this kind of a secret. They don't understand what makes of that capital. What is it that we talk about when we are saying that, I do not have working capital? And most of the people, when they look at their cash box and find that there is no money, most of the time what they do is to run to the bank, is to run to the financial institution and ask for a working capital, financing. They don't understand that the working capital is a mix of whatever is in the shelves. That is what we are calling the stock, and also what is there in their bank account or even the cash box, and even the so-called debtors, people who have bought goods, products from that business, and they have bought it in credit. Sometimes, if there is a problem within those three components, there will always be a problem in your working capital. And then you have to understand, what is it that has a problem? Is it my stock? Do I have so much debt stock? Is it that I have made drawings for my business, therefore the cash level in my business is going down? And is it that I've done so much of my business on debt, and there is strain on collection of those debts? People are taking so long to pay me back, and yet when I buy my goods, when I buy my stock, the suppliers are giving me, are requiring of me to pay them in cash. This is something that you have to keep to understand so that your business can be able to succeed. And the last part is the issue of risk management. You have seen people starting businesses that run into millions, but they do not ask themselves, what could happen if I woke up one day and find that, my business is in shatters. Fire started up in the night and burned all the stock. Or even thieves who, have stormed in my shop, in my stores, and carried all the stock. Where do I begin? When all things have gone, on the unexpected side, what can you be able to do? And therefore, this is where the issue of insurance comes in. Do not run a business that is not insured, because it's a big risk for you. Remember, that's where your money is. That is where your investment is. Why would you be running a business that you do not have a fallback, plan about? For us to be able to achieve success in our business, these are very key issues that we have to think about. These are issues that we have to interrogate, and that's the only way you're going to realize that you're doing a business that you are proud about, a business that is making you happy, and a business that brings a return on investment, a business that makes you make a step forward. Don't just do a business for the sake of doing a business. If it doesn't make sense for you, if it doesn't appear to give you progress, it doesn't appear to, turn your life around, then it is the right time to stop and think, where is it that the rain started beating me, and how can I be able to rectify that so that at least I can be able to see results and I can be able to make progress while I run my business. So I want to encourage you to think about these issues, and as you do, please continue to follow our program, The Money Closet, on YouTube, for you to be able to get more information as we get along and as we walk together this journey of success, and as we discuss issues that are pertinent not only in personal life but even in how we do our business. Until then, I want to wish you a good day and a fruitful day, and may God bless you. Thank you so much for watching.